Okay, I want to call the meeting to order, please. The East Brandywine Township Board of Supervisors PM meeting on Thursday, December 21st, 2023. I want to remind everybody a recording device will be in use during this meeting. And let's open the meeting with a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment and for agenda items. For conduct of public meetings established by Resolution 2001-08 state that the time allocated to each individual making a comment shall be 3 minutes unless otherwise set by the presiding officer. Additional public comment may be granted at the discretion of the presiding officer or at the conclusion of the meeting, and I will set 3 minutes. Is there any public comment on agenda items? I'm going to move on to 3, which is the conditional use hearing, and I turn that over to our hearing officer,
Thank you.
Mr. Ost,
This is a
Esquire.
This is a continuation of a conditional use hearing for 3 Creeks LLC. The property subject to the hearing is at 2069 Bondsville Road. The hearing was convened on November 16, 2023. The hearing was continued on the record to this evening, December 21st, 2023. The applicant has requested and consented to a further continuance of the hearing until March 21st, 2024. The reason for the request is to permit the applicant to submit a revised application. If there are significant changes to the revised application or the application requires additional relief, the hearing date will be re-advertised and adjacent property owners will be re-notified and the property will be posted again. So unless the board has any objection, we'll place on the record that this hearing is continued until March 21st, 2024, to convene immediately after the conclusion of the Board of Supervisors public meeting, which begins at 6:30 p.m. Close the record for this evening.
Okay?
Thank you, Jen.
We don't need to vote on that or anything, do we?
No, you don't.
Okay. And let's move on to the minutes of the previous meeting. Anybody have any question on the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minute meeting. Oh, well, we did have a last meeting, but we already approved it, I guess.
Oh, we did. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading from the agenda.
Yep.
All right. Treasurer's report and authorization to pay bills and approve the payroll. I have reviewed the bills, and looks like you guys have reviewed the bills.
Yep.
So,
I make a motion to approve the payroll. I'll second.
how about the bills?
And the bills. I'll second. No bills, just payroll.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're losing our public.
Actually, they're paid.
All right. Reports, Township Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, members of the board. I want to start my report this evening with an update on the budget process. We are very close to the finish line in adopting a budget for 2024 as required by the second-class Township Code to be done before the end of the year. The last remaining task is to pass a resolution adopting a draft budget, which has been advertised and is available for public comment at this time. Due to a miscommunication, the The draft budget was not advertised in time to be adopted this evening. There will therefore be a special session of the Board of Supervisors on Wednesday, the 27th. At that time, there will be one agenda item, which is a resolution adopting the budget. I have some updates on some communication technologies. In early 2024, the township will be migrating our email host for all users utilizing an @ebrandywine.org address, including the members of this board, to a new Microsoft 365 cloud platform. Labor costs are anticipated at $2,850, and hosted email will cost $6 per user per month thereafter. The change was necessitated by issues with our current provider. Most significantly, there has been documented non-delivery of emails to gmail.com addresses and access issues for web browser-only users like the kind of access our township volunteers have. I don't have a sense of the scope of the project or how long it's been going on, or the problem, or how long it's been going on. But my apologies to anyone who is writing to me from a Gmail account and not getting a response. That is a very serious problem. Also scheduled for January are the budgeted and planned server upgrades and a transition to fiber optic service, the introduction of voice over internet protocol for both sides of the township building, and the termination of voice-only services. Staff does not anticipate any disruption of service delivery as a result of these changes. I recently received an update from Chester County relative to the Hatfield Road Bridge. Chester County has now advertised the work for Bridge 244, the Hatfield Road Bridge over Beaver Creek. Reconstruction work is scheduled to begin on the bridge in early 2024. The purpose of the project is to provide a safe and structurally sound bridge for all travelers on Hatfield Road. The existing bridge was constructed in 1913 and carries one lane of traffic over Beaver Creek, and is weight restricted to just 3 tons, which incidentally is less than, say, a garbage truck or a school bus. The bridge appears as a historic resource in township mapping resources. The new structure will be 50 feet in length and have a 24-foot curb-to-curb width. The parapets will include architectural surface treatments as discussed with the Township's Historical Commission, and it will be designed to the current load standard of 40 tons. During construction, the bridge will be closed and a 1.9-mile detour will be in place. The project is expected to be completed in late 2024. It's my pleasure to give the final report on the water damage to the Township Administration Building. As you recall, in the early morning of Wednesday, December 28th, a section of normally dry fire suppression system piping located in the attic directly above my office froze and burst open. The East Brandywine Fire Company was able to turn off the water, but not before flooding affected most of the Township Administration side of the building. Valiant efforts by members of staff, 3 of whom were recalled from scheduled vacation leave over the holidays, and Vice Chairman Scribner, resulted in the relocation of administrative offices and vital records to dry areas of the building. The township experienced no disruption of service delivery. Our insurance provider, Zurich, is now processing final payment for our insured loss in the amount of $51,809.24. Total event expenditures will total $208,994, and insurance proceeds will be $208,566. Note the minimal net loss between the revenues and the expenses on this project are due to claimable in-house labor costs. In other words, the salaried labor, which had been budgeted elsewhere, was redirected to this recovery project at the expense of other priorities. I am proud of and grateful for the effort and resilience of the whole township team. Also, I would like to note that the township administration will be closed on Monday, December 25th, and Tuesday, December 26th, for the Christmas holiday and the Christmas Eve holiday observed. Trash and recycling and bulk collection will be on Wednesday, December 27th. I will personally be out of the office between Friday the 22nd and Friday the 29th, and I wish you all a very happy holiday season. Respectfully submitted, Luke Revan, Township Manager.
Thank you. Did you drain the water out of the pipe above your office?
We have engaged
I hope you put a valve
Precision
in
Fire
there.
for more frequent inspections. I'll leave a Tupperware out, just a tub out to catch it. Shall I read the permit report into the
Yes.
record? All right. So this is the permit activity for the month of November 2023. Total building permits issued were 29. Total zoning permits issued were 4. Fees collected for building and zoning permits totaled $36,926.90. There were 8 use and occupancy permits issued, 87 inspections completed, and 0 failed inspections. Total fees collected were $36,926.90. This report is respectfully submitted by Norang King, Permits Administrator.
Thank you. Roadmaster's report.
Thank you. This is sort of a end-of-year report, so I'll try and go through it pretty quickly. November, Public Works employee Tanner Gledhill decided to move on to another job. Tanner worked with us for over a year and had recently obtained his CDL license. Earlier this month, we conducted interviews for Public Works position. We are planning to hire 2 people to fill 1 vacant position and 1 new position. One candidate, Jeremy Lely, has accepted an offer for employment. I will make a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors on your January 2nd meeting to accept Jeremy to the Road Department pending passing a background check, which he did pass the background check. During our 2003, our contractor, Construction Master Services, paved School Lane, Keller Way, Kristen Circle, Levita Villa, Batten Drive, and made repairs to Hopewell Road. A second contract with Martin Paving completed seal coating of Timber Pass, Banyan Lane, and both portions of the Cumberland Ridge development. For this coming year, we're planning to pave the Cross Keys development. Most of the development was paved last in 2003, with the exception of Rosewood Court and Elmwood Drive, which have never been paved by the township. That's got the original asphalt in there. The project cost estimate is $565,500, and expect to see bid packages in March or April of this year. 2023, we purchased an international dump truck. It's equipped with a snowplow, salt spreader, and toolboxes. This truck will be utilized for plowing operations, chipping, and daily use. We also took delivery of an Alamo boom mower, which is on our John Deere tractor. To date, the mower has had many maintenance issues, and we have asked Alamo for a refund. We anticipate the delivery of a Freightliner dump truck during the first quarter of 2024. This truck was originally ordered in February of '22, and later in that year, Freightliner canceled the order due to a lack of inventory. We reordered the truck in March of 2023, and this truck will replace our 2005 Freightliner. And lack of inventory seems to be a industry-wide problem, especially with larger trucks. The other major purchase for this year is a Ventrac mower with attachments. This equipment will be used for mowing basins, steep slopes on basins, and other locations. It will be also utilized to mow municipal authority drip fields. The mower, with its minimal ground pressure, is great for areas sensitive to compaction, such as basin bottoms and drip fields. This year we collected 77 loads of leaves, which is about 336 tons, and it's actually the same number of loads that we did last year, although it seemed like more. Thanks to Kyle and Derek for a job well done, and look on our website for collection dates in 2024. This year we chipped at 222 homes. It's about 40 less than last year. We collected about $1,300 in fees. I've been working with Public Works Foreman Klaas on completing our 5-year plan. We hope to have this for adoption during your January evening meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And the police department report.
Meeting, the police department report for November 2023. We had 2,308 monthly events recorded. The officers completed 192 investigations. We had 5 criminal arrests, 3 summary arrests, 5 warrant arrests. There were no juvenile petitions completed. The officers investigated 14 traffic accidents. During the month, there was no training completed by anyone in the department that was scheduled. Responses, one was a thank Paul Catholic Elementary School, walking cocoa with a cop. St. Lammy football across America last weekend, and we have a thank you from the Cherokee County Toys for Tots for our participation as a collection location for toys and shit. Your attachments are the monthly investigations, the officer, and the correspondence. And I also would like to, from the police department, wish everyone a very happy holiday season and wish all of you safe travels.
Thank you. And the fire company.
Thank you. For the month of November, we had 69 total incidents, 39 fire, 30 medical. In East Brandywine Township, we had 17 fire, 17 medical. We had an average of 13.25 members in attendance for fire calls, 17 for major incidents. We used 236 gallons of the East Brandywine Township fuel. We had 3 training sessions with an average of 30 personnel per training for a total of 210 hours. At a very successful breakfast with Santa Claus attended by over 300 people a couple weekends ago. And we wanted to take a moment to thank Supervisor Winters for his time and commitment to the fire department over your years. Jason, you were unwavering with your support. We appreciate that. And thank you for your future endeavors. Also, we wanted to wish the board Merry Christmas.
I have a question just so I can answer my neighbors who are bombarding me on Facebook. They really like your breakfast, but because it's limited, most people couldn't go to it. They were wondering if the fire company is ever going to bring back the Santa riding through the neighborhoods in the truck. And if
No,
not,
we don't.
I need to tell them why.
We are not going to bring that back in the near future. We feel as though our bang for our buck is bringing the folks into our firehouse with settings, and with the amount of time and effort put into riding around the entire
Right,
town.
which I figured that's the
That's
answer, but
why,
I'm
yeah.
not going to answer for you. But then, I know it's a lot of work at breakfast. 300 is probably the maximum you could have fit in. Should there be 2 breakfasts?
There was 2 seatings, one at 8 and one at 10.
I'm sorry, what?
There was 2 seatings, one at 8 and one at 10.
Oh.
I could add lunch to the lunch with Santa if you thought that was good.
So you had 100 on each?
150 at each setting,
Okay,
right.
all right.
So maybe I should just,
I thought it was great that they knew about it, cared,
Yeah.
and missed it.
the unfortunate thing is that in the first sitting, we had 4 folks who didn't show up who reserved spots. And at the second, we had 4 folks. So there was 8 opportunities that could have been open. And so that's unfortunate.
Okay, well, the few people in our neighborhood that got tickets really loved it. The ones that didn't get tickets weren't happy.
Tell them I'll give you the inside information next time to get them signed up.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Okay. I see there's no old business. New business. Resignation of Francis Tarashi from the Planning Commission and Historical Commission. Mr. Revan.
Thank you. In anticipation of being sworn in as the newest member of the Board of Supervisors on January 2nd, staff has received notice that Francis Taraski is resigning from his current appointments to the Planning Commission and the Historical Commission. At this time, I'd respectfully ask the board accept the resignation of Mr. Taraski from these two appointments.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Francis Trashy from the Planning Commission and Historical Commission. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Might as well do the next one.
Certainly. The Planning Commission is pleased to nominate a individual to fill the unexpired term of Francis Taraski on the Planning Commission, and that is Mike Wagner. Mike Wagner is a former member of the Planning Commission who resigned at some point in the past due to a employment with a township contractor. That conflict has now ceased, and the recommendation from the Planning Commission is that he be appointed to rejoin the Planning Commission.
Make a motion to appoint Mike.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Evan. Subdivision and zoning applications, I see there are none on the agenda. Ordinance and resolutions for consideration. Resolution 11 of 2023 is adopting a modification of the employee handbook. Mr. Evan.
Yeah, included in your packet this evening is the language of Resolution 11 of 23, as well as Exhibit A to that resolution, which is the entirety of the employee handbook. Just by way of some background, the employee handbook applies to all non-uniformed staff at East Brandywine Township. The uniformed officers are covered by their own standard set of rules. My thanks to Chairman Croft for his leadership in this. The proposed change has to do with our paid time off policy. In the attached modified employee handbook, there are changes to sections 406, 407, and 408. Prior to the change, these sections addressed vacation leave, personal leave, or personal days, and sick days. Replacing them is a new revised section 406 entitled Paid Time Off. Paid time off is a substitution for those other types of leave into a single policy. Unlike the other policies, the other types of leave, paid time off is accrued per pay period, and there is allowable between the years rollover of unused leave. In addition, at separation, the employee may seek reimbursement for unused paid time off. And then lastly, any amount of leave that exceeds the maximum rollover will automatically be purchased back from the employee as a vacation buyback program. At this time, I respectfully...
Can I add something?
Of course.
The maximum that you can carry over is 20 days. So if you, which is approximately 1 month. So if you have 22 days, you'll be paid those 2 days. You're paid now, you can't carry anything over. So that's the big change here. We also added a category, the 3 to 4 year. That's a very competitive category when you're hiring. And that's one of the things that your new hires look at. So, so we added 3 days early, but when you go through the whole thing, other than the year 16 or more, everybody has the exact same days. 16 or more has one less. And the old system, not sure how it gravitated, but it should have had changes in it earlier. So anyway, I think when you presented it to the employees, there was a general consensus that they appreciated it. There's also in here describing how you have a doctor's appointment or need to leave, you can take up to 2 hours off a week as long as you make it up that week. So there's some flexibility. People have a school play or something like that to see. And you have to use the PTO in half-day increments otherwise.
Yeah, I would just, dovetailing on what you just said, actually, the top two categories involve one less PTO day.
Yeah, I thought it might be the top
The
two.
9 to 15
I guessed.
and the 16 or more, both would have, and when we say one less, what we're referring to is one less than the sum of the 3 types of leave that existed prior. So if you add the sick and the vacation and the personal days together, the accrual rate for the top 2 levels of seniority is one less day.
And remember, you can carry up to 20 days over, so if you were planning a trip of a lifetime and you get 34 days and you've been here 17 years, you can have another 20 on top of that to take your round-the-world cruise. We will be auditing those accounts. Anybody else have any questions on the?
Approve Resolution 11 of 2023, adopting modifications to the employee handbook.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That was, I want to add one more thing. That did come out when I first talked to the staff, and Kyle, it came out when you interviewed the staff that year also, so I'm glad we were able to get that instituted. All right, there has been no executive sessions have been held between Friday, December 8th, and tonight. Do we need does either supervisor need an executive session? Okay. And I want to remind everybody, Wednesday, December 27th, there will be a special meeting to adopt the 2024 budget, and that's 9 o'clock, right? Yeah, it doesn't say it on here,
Correct.
but it's 9 a.m.
Yes.
Okay. For motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Merry Christmas,
Same to you.
and